I told Rabbi Cukierkorn when he was finishing his book on wealth, in the words of the psalmist, a person is wealthy if they know God. But it's interesting that you're all here today because Avram was the first convert to Judaism, and he came from Bavel, he came from Babylon. And when he was coming here, he was coming with his brother, and his brother Nahor died and left him with his nephew Lot. You know the story about Abraham and Lot and Sodom and all that? But there's a twist here that you might not know, which I think is very, very good. The reason why the world is the way it is today is because we're in this cloak of materialism. Most people look at who they are about tangentially what they own. That's the way we see ourselves. We're money driven, and most people don't realize that the word salary came from the Latin word that means salt. Because years ago, a lot of the Roman soldiers were paid in salt. But it's interesting, when Lot came with Abraham, Abraham had no children. Ishmael wasn't born yet, and Isaac wasn't born yet, and we don't even know about Eliezer, who was like his best friend, the guy who was like the guy in charge, like the landlord, who also was promised part of Abraham's inheritance with the sons. And what's interesting about the story is that Lot, when he said to his uncle, I want to have my inheritance, and Abraham's answer was, well, if you want to live over here, I'll live over there. If you want to live over there, I'll live over here, meaning that you're going to have to work for your own living. Lot, like all of us, and I hated the story when I was younger, and then I became like Lot, because that's human nature, just to have instant gratification. So Lot goes into Sodom, and he marries the daughter of the king of Sodom, so that he could be guaranteed that his father-in-law would never kill him because it would be the father of his grandchildren, right? And he gets very, very rich. And the Sodomites, as you know, are not very good people, and Abraham has to go when there's a war, and Lot is kidnapped, and he has to bail him out, and he tells Lot, get out of Sodom, it's not a good place to live, but I'm making a lot of money here, right? And Lot stays there, and then the two angels come and tell Lot that the city's going to be destroyed, and anybody ever who's going to turn around is going to show regret for the city and these evil people, and God's going to destroy them. So to this day, if you go to the shores of the Dead Sea, you know what happened to Lot's wife. She turned into a pillar of salt. And Lot worshipped salt. That was his entire religion, the idea of money. And when Rabbi Celso talks in his book about your family's most important asset that you have, he got exactly what he wanted. He got all the salt in the world, but he lost his entire family. And it's just so beautiful because Judaism uses the material world to improve our life, not to prove something in the deeds that we do to others.